Thomas Thor is a recruitment and consultancy company specialized in the global nuclear industry with offices located in Europe, the Middle East, and North America. With nuclear energy being used in more than 30 countries around the world, and 20% of the energy used in the US comes from nuclear energy sources, Thomas Thor being the leading recruitment and consultancy company in nuclear power, they are able to expand their business into another part in the world where nuclear energy is an upcoming source, which in this case is Australia. After several months of analysis, collecting data and speaking to the right people whom I'm familiar with in this sector, Australia is the most suitable country to enter. After analysing the Australian landscape for consulting and executive search firms, it is evident that there is no viable company in the nuclear sector because none of the top Australian recruitment firms are active in the nuclear sector. While entering this market, the pragmatic entry approach should be applied. This approach allows Thomas Thor to focus and differentiate on the characteristics of Australia. Thomas Thor is a service provider. The strategy should start off with a service classification. Assuming that by entering the Australian market, Thomas Thor would have 75% of the entire nuclear sector as their customer, and the total energy production that amounts to that would be 4,642 terawatts, and the first year revenue would amount to 4.3 million. This is based on that the nuclear power would take over 10% of the current 63% of the coal energy production, because the reliance of producing energy from coal was lowered from the beginning of the 2000s. And as the Australian population and its government are more moving towards greener and healthier energy, nuclear power is a viable alternative. For Thomas Thor, due to the expectations of the World Nuclear Association and current market situation of Australia, it is very much advised to enter the country in the following fiscal year. Another fact which clearly underlines above mentioned of expanding into the Australian market is the expected revenue, which would in an ideal and perfect scenario be approximately 4.5 million in the first year and rise up to 5.5 million in the fifth year. Venturing into Australia is not only a decision made on profitability, but also opens up a whole new continent for Thomas Thor to operate into and to expand their business.